What's up, man? Yo, what it do? All powers to oppressed people. African power to an African people and black power. It's your brother, man. It's your boy, Yang and Kruma. Coming to you. And like always, I'm always appreciative. I'm always appreciative and grateful for every opportunity I get to open my eyes, to be a part of changing my immediate, tangible world. You know what I'm saying? I'm always grateful to be able to participate in my own determination, to be a real vibrant part of my success and prosperity. That is me, the manifestation of everything I want to be, the absolute manifestation of excellence in melanated black flesh. I absolutely love it. I greet you with all powers to oppressed people, African power to African people, and black power, if I hadn't said that before. Um, Listen, People's Education Committee presents, coming to you, bringing it to you again. Like I said, opportunities. I believe that I'm a person who believes in taking every um, advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. And right now, YouTube seems to be a platform and a media that has presented itself as an opportunity to get some good stuff out there, to begin to champion good, powerful images, to begin to promote and propagate a solid ideology, which to me is practical black nationalism, which simply means to recognize ourselves as a nation, containing within ourselves and within our communities every not only resource, but ability and capability to operate as a functioning and effective collective, a nation based on shared common experiences for no other reason than how the oppressive ruling class, how a people who at this particular time have finagled their way into some type of power treat us. It's only natural to begin to develop an offense defense system, social understanding and interaction amongst one another that will ensure our survival, and not just survival at the bare basics, but at a prosperous, successful level. We deserve nothing less. In fact, it's not only do we deserve nothing less, a lot of us will not settle for anything less. Understandable, right on to those brothers. But in that striving to bring this to fruition, in that fight, that very real fight, that very real noble fight to bring this into fruition, we have to know our champions. We have to know the people who have uh, not only fought along with us, fought before us, but have paved the way and continue to fight. We have to be familiar with what they bring and introduce into our struggle, because those things are weapons. They are. They are weapons of liberation, tools of liberation. Like today, I'm going to proudly present, People's Education Committee proudly presents Dr. Na'im Akbar. I know for a few of you, this will be a first introduction to him, this awesome black psychologist. Awesome. Before the Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Na'im Akbar. I was first introduced to Dr. Na'im Akbar by a book my father had given me. My father had given me a book called Knowledge of Self by Dr. Na'im Akbar. And it was, even then at that young age, I believe I was probably about 15 or 16, he had given me this book. And even then at that age, it was not only an easy read, it was profound on such a young mind. I can still, man, I haven't read that book in years. I'm gonna have to look. I think it's called Knowledge of Self by Dr. Na'im Akbar. Look that up. Look that up. And I can remember like the first chapter, and this is before I had been introduced to one of my other favorite psychologists, Dr. Francis Cress Wells. But I remember that chapter, and he was talking about from boyhood to manhood. And in this particular chapter, he went to talking about how even grown men would equate themselves to children, shoot to the crib, call his woman mama, He hung out with his boys. He played with his toys. I just thought it was very fascinating. And that's just, listen, it must have been. I'm talking about, I still remember that. Not like I said, at 15, and I am a far away from being 15. So for that to still stick out and jump out so vividly in my mind only speaks to how deep that book is. So definitely, you want to check that out. It's called, I believe, Knowledge Itself. And like I said, man, to me, it's important to, yeah, well, see, yeah, it's important to promote and it's important to promote, propagate, and encourage our people to begin to look these particular figures up. Like me, I just go through in generalization. These are people that I have run across in my studies, but to some of you out there who psychology speaks to very deeply, these are people you want to know, especially if you're a psychologist searching for answers to this dilemma that we find ourselves in, to a lot of it being self-inflicted due to the trauma that we face at the hands of our oppressor, at the social manipulation of the oppressing ruling class. Believe me, there is social manipulation, and it leaves, and that social manipulation, the pressure from that social manipulation can create psychosis for the people, and they have. And so we've had doctors addressing this. And like I said before, man, it is with profound pleasure. I am just, man, over excited to introduce, I'm sure to some of you for a first time, Dr. Na'im Akbar. So I'm not going to hold that up. Let's go into, with that, I'm going to go into his video.
Okay, once again.
It's good to be here.
And I mean, it took us what, best part of 3 years maybe to get you here?
We've been working on it for a while.
Intensely for a year.
Intensely for a year.
Intensely for a year. Dr. Na'im Akbar.
Mm-hmm.
Father, elder, uncle, leader.
Just give me a moment. I'm not getting
Some people would describe you as a messiah. We know.
Oh, no.
We know that's not the case.
Yes, you don't play that.
It's one of those symptoms of our experience. I want to start by asking you about your own early experience.
Give me a moment. Let's go into it again. But until then, we'll wrap. And like I said, we'll talk about the importance of those of us who believe in Black excellence, those of us who really know that we can accomplish and will accomplish. Okay, let me see what's correct with me.
Search ads are just the beginning. Your ads appear across the Google.
Was being done through.
Let's try it again. Let's not be able to share. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna give it one more go around, and we're not gonna trip on it. We'll wrap. It's all a learning process. Okay, no problem. Well, I tell you what, it doesn't want to do it, so like I said, it's all a learning process. But we'll rap about it. We'll go into the discussion part. And why, like I said, I think that it's important for us, and in a general discussion on everything that affects us generally as a black community until we get this together. Um, and we can center it around psychology. We can center around the things that affects our mental state. And if we begin to examine it, I think we would be surprised how much our tangible, how much our real material world affects us mentally, and how much our mental is just as effective in what we manifest and how we expect it to be manifested. And that's real. We can talk about subjective and objective. The A lot of us that I feel like as black people really are have been beat into a very objective stance and approach when it comes to our existence in America. And what I mean, what is objective? Relying on forces outside of your control. I think a lot of us even go into our strategies with this. I think this approach, honestly, and this may stir some controversy shit. We can talk about it. I think a lot of our approaches are very defeatist and very apathetic. Point blank. I think it's from this objective approach that we take. Uh-oh, there come up partner.
All right, let me help you.
Cracking.
Go to the private chat and
Well,
just
it's just
come
me
to
not
it.
hearing nothing.
Oh, what?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, this is me not.
Let me see. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh man, it's me. It was all on me. Was the film probably was playing?
I don't know. I hear an echo. You got the YouTube on? Yeah,
I don't
like
have nothing on now. You still echoing?
a little bit. No, you got it now. I think. Wait, maybe a little bit. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure that I got everything kind of off so I can do this real quick. So I have speakers and stuff running. Make
Yeah,
sure.
we'll get to it. We'll get to it. You know. Um.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. I'll probably be able to rock with it in a little bit too. I'm seeing what it was now. Pardon, fam. It's in it. It was my technical difficulties. My headset was off. That's all. It was dead. No, but on the real note, like I was saying, man, talking about the objective. When we talk about we've been beat into a position of thinking that everything is outside of our control. We want to know one of our biggest obstacles to self-determination is our inability to see it, to envision it. We don't believe in ourselves enough. And you have not only this crippling, defeatist belief in yourself, the inability to believe in the power that resides within, it's reinforced by these handkerchief head ass Negroes who would love to show in front of you your misfortunes as some type of inherent ignorance or stupidity. And all because all they want to do is be king of the mountain. They want to be the king nigga, head nigga in charge, greatest nigga of all, big
That's
nigga.
great.
See what I'm saying? So they have to reduce intelligent, progressive, revolutionary black men and women down to niggas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have to reduce them down to niggas.
Mm.
And that's the, you know, hold on, man. You're gonna hear a lot of activity in the background. My youngin's been stepped in.
Good evening,
And
family. Welcome to another educational class. Um, Obviously, Seduction Doll, Che and Kruma. we're just gonna hold it down for a quick minute. And I would encourage you guys to go check out something just for funsies. Let's see. For sure, I did a show yesterday. It was long. It was like 6 hours long, but I don't want to hear nothing. I know you guys could hang for 6 hours. Skip it, skim it. You know what I mean? It was pretty good actually. Let me see if I get the link on. It shows talking about the the war on them guys. It's nationwide right now. And what else did I talk about? I think I talked about the with the whole Biden thing where talking about him passing out drug paraphernalia and the harm reduction centers and how we're in Colorado. Nothing new. Like actually, that's like 6 years old news. So this what is being talked about now in the media is actually new to you, old to us. And definitely old to a motherfucker like me that's out in the field and has actually touched said kids. Because I was homeless, I had a whole thing. And so I kind of went into that. So if you're interested, I'm gonna throw the
Throw the
show
link
link.
up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
throw the show up there because it's long, but I don't want to hear nothing. I know you guys can hang for like 6 hours, easy,
Yeah.
easy. One link, you did for mine, just yesterday's. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely, man. Put them,
I'm kind of shy about my work. I'm on my Erica Badu.
put them links in there.
Yeah,
Um,
big type. Yeah,
so
I was holding it down. I didn't know where he was coming back, sir.
yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Now I had to, you go handle some business. Everybody in here can relate to. They know how it is. Real life feel. This is just like I said, man. Gorilla YouTube. You get it how you live. It is what it is.
That's true.
But to go back, like, and keeping it in the theme of, and we were talking about Dr. Na'im Akbar. I think I done worked out some of the bugs and technical difficulties. So I still do want to show his video. And there again, like I said, to present the people with not only Black excellence, to go back to our predecessors, to go back to before the Dr. Umar Johnsons and things like this, because you and I, and what one of the things that inspired this, doll, was that conversation that just a few minutes, not that particular one, but conversations like that one we just had before the show, which was we're dealing with a whole new generation and wave of freedom fighters and people that want to participate in self-determination and their liberation struggle.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
wrong. Like right now for the. Sorry, man. Like I've been working on for a long
You said
time.
what? It's not what?
Is it wrong for the new revolutionaries to be like, man, I'm like a new generational freedom fighter fighting for the right causes? Like I'm in the process, I'm in the process of working on something for city council right now, like in regards to fighting the housing, the urban camping ban here in another city, where in the city I live in.
Yeah.
And
It's not wrong. It's not wrong. I think that every next wave generation freedom fighter has to take on particular issues that address their time. One of the things that I always advise, though, is like that fight you're going to fight. It's not a new fight, is it? You know what I'm saying? If it isn't a new fight, if you can find similarities uh, historically tied to what you're trying to accomplish, this is where you're going to draw the people in. You can make references to. Nobody really likes the pioneer. The revolutionary is the pioneer. The revolutionary is the one that says, okay, we have to blaze the trail. I don't know. I used to watch those old cowboy flicks. Well, in fact, back in the day when I was coming up, that's almost all you had, right? And they had three types. They had on the trail, I would notice. They had the trailblazer, you know what I'm saying? And that was the one that would go out and make a trail where there was no trail.
mm-hmm.
Then they had the trail boss. That was the people that would lead what? The wagon train. Then you had the wagon riders, the bandwagon. Some of us are trailblazers. Some of us are trail bosses that will lead the bandwagons.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would frame my struggle like that. You may be trailblazing in this day and time, but or then that's going to be a whole different fight. Now you have to set up a president, but if you don't have to trailblaze, don't trailblaze. You know what I'm saying? If you have presidents for your fight, that means you already have people who have done some of the heavy lifting, and you have a foundation to solicit support to. You meaning you have someone that says, "Hey, brother Mutumba did it, sister so and so did it." Da da da. So you have a president not only that is just some of the heavy lifting, but people that you can kind of, you're a trail boss, people you can call other people to look to, that success can be had if we continue this mission.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's always about, to me, making it relatable to the people. The people have to want to be involved in their own participating in their own liberation struggle.
Yeah.
We can't trick them into it. We can't finesse them into it. We can't uh, entice them through payment or some type of reward. They have to see that it is just first and foremost essential to their survival. Not to clean together for survival shows how abnormal and unnatural you are. The first law of nature, naturality, the first law of nature is self-preservation. Not to want to preserve your life shows how truly unnatural we've become.
Hey, brother Yanga,
Yes.
can I show two tiny little things real quick that are kind of cool?
What's tiny? What's
I
tiny?
like.
Dog.
I want to
What do
show
you want to
something that
show? No,
Jesse
you.
did. I want to show something that brother
Say what?
I want to show something that Che and Kruma did at City
Cool.
Council. It's
Yeah.
like less than 3 minutes.
You ain't about to. You ain't about to offend. No, you're not about to offend the demographics, are you?
Oh man, unless it's about
How many demographics are you about to offend?
nobody really. It's black empowerment.
Oh, all day,
It's on the reparations tip, like
all day.
assaulting Colorado, the City Council.
Okay, set it up. Only thing I ask one thing: set it up for the viewers.
Yeah, yeah.
Let us know what we're about to watch.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just wanted to talk about this shit real quick. It's like 2 seconds. Before we go into this thing. I wanted to highlight our new sweatshirts. Well, yeah, we probably had them like less than a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
This the letters say BARC, right? And it's an organization here in Colorado called BARC, Brothers Against Racist Cops, right? And so, Brother Yang, I patrol the neighborhood, right? Like,
Right.
wherever I'm going, I'm doing visual sweeps or whatnot. Well, our brother, Eric Randall, he's probably like what
the Huey P. Newton Gun
yeah, he's
Club.
with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club here in Colorado, or in Denver, historic 5 points. Right, that's 5 points, right? Yeah, and Panther, obviously, and so I actually maneuver the city. He made my patrolling official. I just wanted to celebrate that moment. Yeah, I just felt like I had to get that off my chest. But the shirt is tight. The shirt's tight. It has a picture, on the back of it that represents it. But I get to. It's like official. And I think I'm like the only, like right now I'm probably the only one maneuvering the areas I like to go. I haven't seen him in the car moving around. I thought it was cool because the first time I seen him, the car, she's a regular car with a sticker on the side, and it said BARC, and it said Brothers Against Racist Cops. I was like, huh, when did that happen? Right? Like, because we were just going to go to his father's building. It was late at night. It was raining, bumping music and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Where did they come from? And man, I was so late. They'd been here for a long time. I didn't even know. I was just catching up. I was like, whoa, can I ride in the car? I want to ride in the car, And this man teaches a whole bunch of things. He teaches self-defense, self-defense for women and children, um, life survival skills, camping, anything like electrician. You got like little camp setups for the children. Um, bug out things where you shows you how to pack a bag, survival. They got land, so it shows you how to build off the land. A lot of things like that, and he's kind of like pick your time. You got to catch him. So we're lucky that on Che's birthday, he came through. I hadn't seen him in forever since like Marcus Garvey? Yeah, something like that. So yeah, I just want to highlight that. Okay, family. What we're gonna watch right now is a 3-minute clip where Jesse's at City Council and
What's the brothers? What's the brothers? Listen,
yes sir.
you kind of did that brother a disservice. I wasn't going to tell you on the line.
I'm sorry.
Because
I
I
did
want
not
to.
open that up. I apologize.
I'm gonna tell you why you not that. I want to do Bark a service. I want to dedicate some time. I want you to have the brothers info. You know how we get out, man. We got to plug
it's
all
on our
this right in the
website.
Jackson Good part. I'm glad you shouted it out. Brothers Against Racist Cop. That sounds hip as shit. But I personally want to know more. So next time we get on here, if you can have some info, some contact, have the brother shit. Let's really put the brother out there, man. Let's start pushing and promoting our people. We got to fight suckerism. You know what I'm saying? 2022, we can bat an anti-black sucker shit.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
we on the sucker.
wearing the shirts, and then we got these
right on.
These little things.
Right on. So we're gonna put what'd you say the brother's name was? Eric
Randall.
Yes, Eric Randall.
Okay. Shout out.
Yes, I'll have that prepared. I apologize. Thank you.
Okay.
There you go.
No
Thank
problem.
You, King Black News. Thank you. What I'm going to show you is, me and I and Shane Kruma are on this Foundational Black American Tangibles 2022 tip. Okay, and I didn't know he did. He was at City Council and he was talking about City Council owes, or Colorado owes reparations, and it's really quick. Give me a moment to. It's like 3 minutes, no less than 3 minutes. Okay. So let me give you a second just to open this up real fast. I just need 2 minutes, brother Yang, if you want to carry on.
Take your time. Take your time, man. Like we said, my man, Che and Kruma running back there, man. We open it up. What is this again? Che addressing City Council?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, absolutely. You know, if I was in Colorado, you have my vote. As soon as I stumble out of the dispensary, I run straight to the poll.
He said everybody's gonna know his name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We got dispensaries like Starbucks.
Every other block, if that.
Right. Straight to the pole, man. Smelling like a pound coming by Mali, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
You walk out of there, your eyes are almost gonna be like almost beyond Asian.
Okay.
Barely walking.
But really, we need that. Like I said, everybody knows we need radical politics. Period. We have to shake up to stop. People have gotten comfortable, black folk. They've gotten comfortable with us. They're taking you for granted. Taking me for granted, taking us for granted. Let me throw it on up there. Yeah.
Okay. Oops.
So we got to shake it up. Colorado, y'all have a brother up there that's willing to shake it up.
Right.
Oops. Okay, hold on 1 second. Wrong one. My bad. Yeah. One more time. I had to go through. I had to set it up. My fault.
Goddess, peace.
Yes.
Always a pleasure when you fall through.
Let's see, 1, 2. What is it? I think it's this one. I believe it's this one. Yep. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah. Coming up.
1 second. The City Council public comment.
I want to talk to you
Oops.
about
Hold on a second.
reparations for foundational Black Americans.
1 second.
No.
I know. Hold on a second. I gotta turn it up over here. All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
On the lack of accountability and a culture of racist brutality. in Aurora. In Denver, we're fortunate to have Paul Payson as a competent police chief. My request tonight is
That's a
that our
douchebag.
city council influence Chief Payson to hire more black men and women and to begin sending out at least one black officer to
I'm
potentially
gonna pass
difficult
that to you.
situations.
I'm passing this.
Hopefully, we can do something positive to make our black friends and all of us safer. It's just one thing we can do in memory of a beautiful human being, Elijah McClain. Thank
Ashe.
you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jesse Paris.
Yes, good
I
evening, members
can't
of the
turn it
council.
anymore.
Can I be heard?
Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Jessica Sean Paris, and I'm representing for Black Star Action Movement for Self-Defense, myself, and my people. And I want to talk to you today about reparations for foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery. Dear Denver City Council, Denver, Colorado, United States of America owes foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, the people who built this country, helped found this city and state in whom all this country's generational wealth was acquired off the backs of
It's very low, God.
social commodification of human beings.
I cannot there's no I can't control the volume right now. I can't get it any louder, babe. I'm telling you. One second, I can't get it any louder. I wish I can't. There's no way. Like it won't for some reason it won't go louder. Just one second, please. Let's see if I can fix it.
All right, we'll give you. Yeah, what is that? Is that local news? What is it? What are you on, Chad?
City Council.
City Council, Denver City Council.
You man, you came on. Hey, boy, you my hero. You my new hero, brother. Yes.
Thank you, cuz.
What? Who did you say you came on the rep? What? Our last thing I heard was the what for self-defense?
Black Star Action Movement for Self-Defense.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's see if it'll play now. Okay. Let's see if it'll go louder. Any louder? No.
Real hard to get.
Okay,
But,
because like
Africans, God has said it's cool.
is it all right? Is it good? I can't read the chat. I'm gonna play it so you can hear it. I'm trying really hard.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
United States of America, Denver City is American descendants of slavery. Dear Denver City Council, Denver, Colorado, United States of America owes foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, the people who built this country, helped found this city and state in whom all this country's generational wealth was acquired off the backs of social commodification of human beings.
Can they hear it? Can you hear it?
It's low.
All right, hold on 1 second. 1 second, okay? I got it. Breaking out the whole
Power on.
I do it all ghetto.
Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
1 second. I got this. This is like 2 seconds. Literally. Over here problem solving, man. That's what Aries do.
Hey, man. That's what we do.
I'm serious. This is all Aries. God. Sorry. That's a notification. Is that what it says? Alright. Come on now, cuz stop. Alright. Alright.
Good evening.
Hold on,
Welcome to Denver City.
Come on. Okay.
Students and remembers to prioritize
Can't see shit. 1 sec.
and they can borrow. I think it was 9-10 minutes there. Okay, just a little bit. However, today I am concerned with the health
United States of America owes foundational black Americans, American descendants of slavery, the people who built this country, helped found the city and state in whom all this country's generational wealth was acquired off the backs of. Social commodification of human beings, my ancestors, was what this country was created off of. This European colonization of foreign lands. This country, along with the immigrants who stole this land from black indigenous people, owe us $100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities that you have continued to bring against our people, for crimes against humanity, for cruel and unusual punishment, for state and city sanctioned murders, caging of black bodies, rape and molestations and castrations, lynchings, looting and burning of black communities, homes, towns, cities, neighborhoods, communities, redlining, sundown towns, exclusionary housing, education, etc., segregated housing and education, etc. So we are demanding this country pay what they owe us for these continued atrocities. Denver, you take a stand and run a bill for reparations for foundational black Americans, American descendants of chattel slavery. Other oppressed groups have been paid for the wrong done to them, and we are the only people in this country who haven't been compensated for the wrongs and the atrocities brought against our people. We foundational black Americans, American descendants of slavery, FBA, ADOS, are the only people who have been mistreated by the hands of this government that have not been compensated for the wrong that has been done to us in 2021. From 1526 to 2021, we have not been compensated. We will no longer allow this political 50-year malign neglect policy to continue, as well, that lumps black Americans into broad and ambiguous terms such as people of color, minorities, marginalized, disenfranchised, disadvantaged. We are no longer falling for this. So we are demanding tonight that Denver City Council run a bill and the mayor of Denver run a bill as well. To hell with a study, cut the check. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Up next, we have Gabriela Perez.
That's what's up, man.
Okay, I'm done.
That's
Get over there. that was fun. I found that today. I was like, man, I might make something out of that just for fun. Now it's a present. That's enough material right there. That was fun. Thank you. All right. No, I found that today. It was like in the archives of City Council.
Power on.
Okay. You said you had one more voice?
Nope, that was it.
That's right, man.
Mm-hmm.
You still on that?
Yes, sir.
Every,
You already know, every Monday,
well, it led
I'm
me
giving
to.
them all the smoke.
They led us to. They wrote an article about us. Like just the other day, where they decided they don't want to counsel our time, and make us the people that speak like regularly, just speak only every 90 days or some shit.
Wow.
And they said there's 2 unhoused residents that are consistently.
Formerly unhoused.
Consistently
Speaking.
like basically harassing the council, I guess. It was worded funny. I read it out loud. I laughed a lot. And it was talking about me and him. It's always talking about me and him. They always say I'm bullying city council. They really don't say nothing bad about him except they don't acknowledge him. And they're always saying I'm bullying city council. That the things I say is threatening, kind of in a menacing way. Like almost every week, there's an article written about us messing with city council.
Yeah, when you listening. Wait, do you have an echo coming from you or me?
Where's that echo coming from?
I don't know. Could be Nope, that's not there. It could be because it was too loud. Nope, both
Oh,
things are out. It's probably you. Let me turn this down though, just in case.
yeah.
Yeah,
When
when
you're
you're
persistent,
persistent,
Right.
Yeah.
they're gonna have a problem with that. They're
they're
gonna
gonna
keep
keep.
coming at that. They're gonna have a problem with that. But that's what's up, man. There again to go back.
Go back.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's right along lines of what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about Black excellence. We're talking about participating in our own self determination. That's a prime example of contemporary participation. It has to go farther than, like I said, man. I respect YouTube. I can really appreciate the platform. I appreciate all the cool individuals I've
You're
had an
breaking up,
opportunity to
brother
meet.
Yanga. You're breaking up.
Ah, man, it
Ah,
might be
man, it
mine.
might be mine.
Yeah, I thought it would be kind of neat because well, there's always talk of it sounds good, but no, is they really doing the work type of conversations, and we're really doing the work, even if it's at that level. He's consistently there, and I'm like on the ground, like building up the numbers, on the ground for people that don't vote,
Can
like
you hear me?
Can you hear me?
yeah, for the unhoused neighbors.
Can you hear
The
me?
people that are out, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know why I can't hear you.
For those that don't get to vote, and I'm right now looking into the prison out here. I don't know if they could vote or not because a lot of rules have changed. And if that's the case, then I'm just gonna tap into my friends, that
So
are
on
spread out.
probation or parole, they can vote.
If they're on what?
Probation or parole, they can vote.
Yeah, I got some friends that went through are in halfway houses and whatnot. Since he said that, that I was like, tapping in, building a little. I'm building new voters, I guess. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there you
Okay,
go.
there you go.
So I'm on the ground, and he's
All
in
right,
there.
keep holding it down. Hold on.
And when I get a chance, I go into city council too. But I don't talk like he does. I'm a little more like street, I guess. I don't mind calling them out and telling them no white supremacy passes will be given ever anymore. Those days are no more. Period. So they get it every week. Every week. If I had like 3 more minutes, it would go harder. They stopped it. I think I think that because of the way we've been coming at them for like the last 8 months, 9 months, has been so aggressive that they don't like getting told that they all need to be like removed from their position of where they're sitting because they failed consistently. There's so much what do you call it, cronyism and nepotism,
Yeah.
cronyism, nepotism, schisms, and what do you call it, corruption, fraud, base tax evasion. There's all kinds of things going on. Malfeasance, racketeering. There you go, racketeering. Utilizing funds, but for different resources. I practically built up a prose case of one organization or 3 organizations that mean the same thing, and the one thing in common is the human services element. It's the same human services for all 3, and you just keep even if you bring all the numbers and everything, we literally sweated them for, was it an auditor? Like all those months for an auditor to audit the sweeps, like monitor the numbers, and they've been given the numbers. The numbers don't match the money, and they don't match the results. Like something's at 100% is supposed to be the result. For example, 242 people a year are supposed to get housed, right? But only 14 of them are actually been set permanently housed for a whole year. That's all you had was 242 people. You only housed 14 people out of those 242. There's something wrong with that program. Where did the rest of the people go? Back to the street.
Yeah.
but they keep handing them
My
millions of dollars. I'm ready.
my bad for cutting. I appreciate you holding it down. Now finish your thought. I was just letting you know I was back.
Yeah. So with that being said, they've been there was vouchers. There's money for housing, and they keep referring it back to they keep kicking it back. They're like, well, they need drug rehab. They need mental health. And when I did my show yesterday, I was basically pointing out why this is happening and saying why people who are homeless living on the sidewalk like I was go to these extents. And what is the how does somebody get clean? You put them in a place to live that's stable. They change their whole environment. They don't want to hang out with them no more. They start seeing different people. The vibe is different. Jesus Christ. The vibe is different. They start finding new friends. Those friends are clean. All of a sudden they go into rehab. All of a sudden they want to get their mental health checked, or vice versa.
But you're talking like, dog, what
Steps.
you're talking to people who give a fuck.
Right. I know.
That's why, at the
That's
end
why I
of
did my
the
podcast like that.
at the end of the day, we already know revolution is the only solution. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be radical. That
Yeah.
approach is gonna have to be radical. I think that you have to one of the things I would do up there, and you don't want to exploit anyone, so you would have to have a good editing job to blur faces out, but I would get visual. I would find the more liberal element in that community. I would begin to train people. I'd be outside of churches. I would appeal to if you could,
I got the unhoused community pretty impact because I'm close with them
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I do little videos. I give up my 3 minutes all the time for them to
yeah.
chop it up on the phone, because we're doing it through virtual. I couldn't get when I was out there for 5 years. He was still going to the city and county building to do that physically. I couldn't go. I was majorly disabled, but I had a whole tent to fucking guard. And I'm around like motherfuckers like me.
Yeah, yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
watch my shit.
So absolutely.
Now
You know.
I can take my phone and link it up and pass it to my cousin and be like,
And
"Hey, man,
finding out who how do I
build
say
up
it
numbers."
has to speak it's gonna have to speak larger. It seems as if because you've been going at this for a minute, you reach a stalemate there. It's gonna have to go larger. You're gonna have to find some way to break that stalemate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to go larger. I don't know if we're gonna have to go to I don't know if there's a national coalition of unhoused that you can link with that begins to draw national attention to it.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's you can connect yourself with some type of
Well, you think perspectively. You think if like for example, I'm in Colorado, right? Say
yeah.
you're over there. And you work with y'all work with the homeless, right? Like, hey, let's check this out. This is what we need. I tell you to do that over there. You tell me what they need from on this end. And it just stays like how they do with the calls, like the
What's the
political
mention?
calls.
I guess I should ask
He
what's the
calls this
mention?
person. It's like word of mouth.
Yeah, well I guess I should ask you what's the overall mention?
Everybody gets housing and gets the things they need with the money that's already available, right? And being able to be a productive member of society.
Okay.
Like, I give you a house, but you got to earn it too while you're
Okay.
living in it. So
Okay.
everybody has something to do.
Okay.
Right?
So the first thing is to get them housed.
Yeah.
Get our people get the unhoused housed. And you said that they have fun for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At 37,000 luxury apartments just chilling, empty.
Yeah, 30,000.
30,000.
Well, I mean, are they private or state?
Babe.
They're mainly private, but some of them are public.
Okay. I think, and I don't know the particulars. I think it's an end game. It's really about an end game. Finding the solution
And
or
also
some
creating
solutions.
a separate, also creating an actual service provider that can handle all the needs of one particular agency. There's nobody to pass out the needs, like physical needs, like blankets, sleeping bags. They used to have that.
I
That's where
would
we used to be.
tackle. I would tackle. I wouldn't allow my emotions to get the better of me, dog.
No, no.
I would tackle. I'd probably tackle one thing at one thing. Now, if you want to be, what I would suggest for you, what I see for you is an advocate for it all, an unhoused advocate for a champion and a spokesperson for the unhoused. However, you have to begin to find out who you need to directly get your message to. You
Yeah.
know, you're a hell of a champion for them, but if we have to get you more exposure, if we have to find a way to nationalize your platform, if you have to go larger outside of Colorado, if you have to bring attention to Colorado's unhoused situation nationally, shame Colorado, you know, become that champion for it. I wouldn't keep bumping my. It appears that city council really not only is holding you up, they're trying to bear the situation because a lot of cities are always worried about them, especially cities like Colorado because they're very touristy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially right now, we got something going
Or
on in the
not,
city. Yeah.
I said city states. I meant states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened. All this stuff really, like this year, especially with the Major League Baseball thing that came. There's something else happening in the city. I'm not really sure, but they've been cleaning out like Union Station. They have five agencies. We talk about the Guardian Angels, the feds, the T's, security, and TSA, all around this area. That they basically have they pushed the homeless people there. They keep shifting them around. This is the only place that it's the port for all the light rail, whatever, and it's in the middle. It's like their prized possession of touristy stuff, right? And there's restaurants. There's all kind of crap there. And it's a bus depot. The people there now, they call it lawless. I would tackle that too. Call it lawless, but this has been going on. They're making it sound like it's a new thing. This has been going on for 5 years plus.
Yeah.
You know, and all of a sudden, the same workers that have been working there for like 2 years, they feel like danger, blah, blah, blah. And it's heavily populated with homeless that are doing drugs and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. When you keep moving them every 3 days and they have nowhere else to go, this is the only place they got to go. We just got dropped like 3 feet or 2 feet of snow. Or a foot of snow, something like that. Half a foot of snow.
Man, it's just crazy. I don't, you know, as I said, I admire you. It is a tough issue to champion because there's so much that goes with it. You know, I'm not going to profess to know all the operation of it, all the ins and outs. I've had my experience. You know, I think that every Panther at some point in time goes through the feeding the people and that really getting their feet wet with socialization and social program and getting out there amongst the masses. I think a lot of times, a lot of us were introduced through the unhoused. And it's a difficult fight because there's so many various reasons people are in that situation.
Right.
You know, and so you find yourself, man, I know it's tough. I know it's tough. Is it any way that the people can support? Put out there some way we can support.
Yeah, let me think on that because I'm one of those type of people that don't want to be. I'm like when I acquire the things that they need, I would like to just disperse them the same day, so I don't be responsible for it. So nothing happens. I don't want to ever be accused of nothing crazy. You know, just here, you thank you and give it right back like immediately. You know, I feel like that about. I've always felt like that since I had a job at a stupid restaurant one time. Register came up weird. It wasn't even my fault. But after that, it fucked me up. And I never want to be in charge of nothing like that. I have someone that does the math and accounting for whatever I need because
gotcha.
that shit fucked me up. And I didn't do anything. Just the thought, the
Mhm.
audacity, was enough. Thank you. Are you ready to do to do your program?
Yeah, let me see if I can. I can probably pull it on. Let me see.
Yeah, just if you
We're
want,
just
just
in
go ahead and
there.
chat.
Yeah, let me pull it on because I want to do a little something. Introduce just a little something. What part is this? On
I don't know
Dr.
what else I
Na'im
need.
Akbar. Give a little.
I don't know. I don't know what I need. What else I need?
It's on the grocery list.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, he said to do it. He has everything. Um, I don't know what else. I don't know what else I need. I'm really trying to just eliminate meat and stuff right now. But I got this one thing, but everything I don't know. What else? What kind of vegetables and stuff I need? I don't know anymore. Like that's a whole fucking whole change. Like 360 change in one day. I would need a job. And they do all this work, man, and no pay.
I had cucumbers too.
Like, well, yeah, but it's not gonna help me right now, cause I want to stop eating meat altogether. I just want to try it out, see what it's like, cause um, I think it would be helpful, so considering that you put on like 40 pounds of water right now. It might be helpful. Hello, Black Sun.
Black Sun.
How you doing, guy?
Son, what's good, bro? I'm trying to play this little thing with Na'im Akbar, man. Y'all rap while I get up
Oh,
to that.
How you doing?
okay. I'm doing
Good to
good,
see you.
y'all. Man, good to see y'all too, man. Yeah, good to see
What's
y'all,
good in
man.
your world? What are you doing for the
Oh,
weekend?
I was just preparing for this debate for tomorrow.
Oh, who you debating?
I'm debating Rio.
What's it about? What's it about?
Are we omnivores or herbivores?
Oh, good. You're gonna bring up the whole thing about the teeth and the
All that,
veracity of it all.
all that in a bag of chips.
That's on your
So
SDVL.
yes,
I clicked in
absolutely.
for a second and I clicked back out because I
Yeah,
don't
it's gonna
understand the
be.
mathematics of it all, like how they gain the points and whatnot. And
Oh yeah, yeah,
then every
yeah,
time I tune in, it's on some it's very religious. Every single time I'm like, ah, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Shout out to my boy Scheme. He's trying to destroy all that religion. Um, I first tried when I first came in it, and the
Mhm.
verse evidence you gave them, the more weird they got. So I said, you know what, I'm done with this Bible thing. I'm not gonna
It just
argue
gets
it no more.
complicated, more and more
Yes,
complicated. That's why I like to stick to um,
practical
everything
stuff.
but that.
Yeah, exactly.
It just gets goes into different belief systems. You really can't change anybody's thought process of who began what and where it began and who said what and what book is right and the Bible and the Quran and all. It's like, God, man.
That
Now
cognitive dissonance.
I'm extra confused after just 10 minutes. So I'm like, cool.
Well, that's why Malcolm said you can't use it as a uniting factor.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
You know, and me and Yanga, we always talk about modern black nationalism versus classical black nationalism. Now, your classical black national would fit into your Elijah Muhammad's, your Marcus Garvey, one God, one aim, one destiny. Everybody pre Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Now, when Malcolm X came out with that statement, he opened up in a whole new realm for black people that wasn't trying to unite under a religious banner. Your Huey Newtons,
Yeah.
your John Africas, your George Jacksons, your Mamiya Fujimos, your Bunchy Carters, basically your whole West Coast faction. Yeah. So
Matter of fact, it's also a topic that's kind of heavy too, that always seems to cause great confliction, is the topic of the Moors and the Moorish society, with and the changes, and you know what
Right.
I mean, what is defined as, and my friend, he has a show, Sabir, he has a show, and I tune into that all the time.
Oh,
But
Samir.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I know King
I like
Samir.
to
Yeah.
catch up because I feel like, man, he's just ever so confident. I don't ever see nobody challenge anything really, and I've learned a lot just about civics, or legislation, I guess.
Right.
Um, Everything else
Now,
is confusing.
I've never understood that. I've
I don't
never
know.
understood. I'm not even gonna pretend to
That's
understand.
what I said. It's a conflicting conversation.
Yeah, shouts out to my Moorish American and Moorish Science Temple and all those. I got people Islam and all that
Yeah,
good stuff. I got
I
people
just
with it.
support
I
it.
just don't get it. The first thing I don't get is
There you go.
trying to reason with a criminal.
Right.
I don't believe you can discuss law with a criminal. I don't believe that the white man ever has and never will respect any type of treaty, law, honor any oath, covenant, or anything.
Good
I
point.
think that what I
You know,
take from
I think yeah.
his conversations, thank you, is that when he brings up the statutes, for example, one day he was doing a thing on traffic, um, just what's written for us to read, and the right here with what we have. That's where I learned, a lot of different things, because I was like, well, if I'm ever, I can't, even though they ever say you can run in Aurora, you can run for office, especially if you're a felon. You know what I mean? I just cannot for my particular reasons. But I was like, I have a sense of, I want to be, like a sense of power, like I can do a good job because I know I can. You know what I mean? Not a no tyrant type of thing, but just because it's the system's so fucked up. Um, I was like, man, nobody is teaching these classes. I don't have an education like everybody else. So to learn, I had to do brother Yanga, show me a book and let me read it.
Hmm.
And I like the fact that when he does his little broadcasts, um, yeah, it might be whatever, but I like the fact that he always has a book
The hell.
to go with the topics, or what he's, it's always a paperback book, you know what I mean? And he travels and he always has them, so that's like a source material, which I feel like is only enhancing the point, versus like I'm just me just blatantly talking out in the air and have nothing to like show, like no France Fanon or no, you know what I mean? No books, no nothing, and I like that part. It's just intriguing, although it is quite confusing, and I don't even want to have those conversations because it's just like religion. I don't know from one
Hmm.
minute to the next, because we've kind of been conditioned to follow the right thing that feels right here, but not necessarily right. You know what I mean? I don't want to get confused, so I just like to stick with what feels strongly correct to me in my vibrations, if that makes sense. And not a lot of things do when he speaks, but a lot of things he says actually, I don't know, I gotta look into it. I'm always taking notes, the shit that I gotta
I,
look into, since I don't
I
know.
missed all of that. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I gotta look it up. Every time he's talking about something, he mentions something, I just write it down so I can look it up later. Because I just don't want to. That's the best way for me to feel like I researched it. Because there's all kinds of debate in contrast to
What are y'all talking about? What are you talking about? What debate?
Severe Bay.
the Moors.
With the more. Oh, what I had left over. Yeah, I don't. Listen, I don't know.
Me neither.
My thing is, I think I have ADHD.
I
I
definitely
can't
do.
sit through a lot of shit. You know what
Like
I'm
for
saying? So
real.
if you haven't grasped my attention in the first couple seconds, if what you're saying hasn't really started to resonate, am I
Resonate.
breaking
Yeah.
up?
No.
No, you good, brother.
Yeah, you got a little echo on
Okay.
your side.
If what you're
It's just a
saying
little bit.
hasn't really resonated, you got that. Dog, try to put yours on mute for a minute. Let me see something.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right. That's how I feel about the first 2 pages of a book, or first 8 seconds
Dog,
of a song.
put your microphone on mute for a minute. Let me see something.
Yes, sir.
Black Sun, can you hear
Is
me?
that? Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Dog,
Testing, testing.
Dog, your
Huh?
echo is killing me. That's your echo,
Oh,
dog.
it's probably she ever has to go to her setup. She probably got to go to the
It's
settings.
Che. He got the phone and the computer on and back
Oh,
there. He's
okay.
low
You
key
guys are gonna
listening
have to
like he's
come
not
off of
listening.
mute when y'all want to speak. When you guys are not speaking, you guys have to go on mute. Just let us, and then we'll quiet. But I forgot what I was gonna say, fam. Go ahead, dog. You were saying though. I forgot. It'll come back to me.
I was like, oh Lord. I was like, it's just like how you said. I feel like that in the first 2 pages of a book, or the first 8 seconds of a song. If it didn't catch my attention, I kind of tune it out too. I got serious ADD, for real, legitimately.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So like, no knock to the Moors. I just really don't get it. It's not that it's so comprehensive. It just hasn't grabbed me in the first couple sections the couple moments that I had given it my ear. And one of the things that turned me off to it was just the whole negotiating with the devil. You can't convince me that a criminal will negotiate an empire to give you a land that, first of all, it appropriated, that the devil stole. So even if you can produce these magical documents, or you can trick this trickster into some way believing you're some type of entity that rightfully owns the land, good luck on physically making the motherfucker give it to you. You see what I'm saying? Laws are only relative. Laws are only laws because they can be enforced. I think it was Mao Zedong that said power is from the barrel of a gun, or something like that. To that degree, we all know that saying has been appropriated and used and reused and recycled time and time again. So, anything that really, to me, like I said, that Moorish thing is just political religion or religiosity sprinkled with political overtures. You know what I'm saying? And it still is, if not religious, it's reformist. It's still it's fanciful reformism. It's believing that somehow magically this devil will nation of laws and words that somehow, I guess, will give this savage a change of heart, a consciousness that will give him the land that was rightfully. It's bullshit. The only way out of this is through self-determination. We're not going to be able to beg, cry, vote, sing, buy our way out of this. It's not how we got into it. You know how we were put in this situation, and the same way we were put in this situation is going to be the same way and the only way that we're able to get out of this situation. So to me, you can get the hats, the handshakes, and all of that good stuff right there. But if you think at the end of the day you're going to sit here and come and reason with some devil to your freedom, you're sadly mistaken. What's up, son?
Hey, shit, man. And the devil tends to change the laws too, man. I'm learning. Woo, every time I do a debate, boy, I be learning so much about the white man. Boy, the white man is crafty. If goddamn things are illegal, he'll make it legal for his benefit. There, white power.
All day, son.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what he does.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's legal and you begin to do it and you begin to advance and prosper for him, here to make it illegal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it's illegal, but at a particular time it's to his advantage, he will legalize it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is what he'll do. Mm-hmm. So to think that you're going to go in there out this trickster who wrote the law, who doesn't care. I don't care how
I'm
many
here.
tassels
I gotta
or
take a phone
flags.
call, but I'm right here. I'm right here. I just gotta take a phone call.
Okay.
Got you. I don't care how many maritime laws and statutes and states and what you think this crack is bound by. History hasn't taught you anything. You really think that he honors any damn thing? Yet we want to deceive ourselves into believing that this devil is benevolent some kind of way. Why? God's son looks like him. He must be benevolent. Why? Angel food cake is white. It must be good. Cornflakes are great. Frosted Flakes, they're white. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff is the chocolate. I mean, I'm tripping, y'all.
That is your mic. Mine's charging.
Mine's charging too.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, man. We're doing the whole family thing and I'm grubbing. I said all that to say this. You debate tomorrow. I can't wait for that. Yeah, Blue Sage waiting on the debate. I said all that to say this. There's not going to be any way out of this that we don't use our own energies and resources. And so there again, to go back, thinking that we're going to go in a courtroom and negotiate our freedom with criminals is, to me, it's one of the highest forms of folly. It's almost equivalent of thinking that we're going to go to the masjid or to the church and pray our way out of this damn mess. You see, I just honestly don't see that working. We understand that in capitalist America, that the only thing they understand is tangible, material reality.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They don't care about anything else. They only understand about that which is material, that which can be touched, that which directly affects your life directly. Everything else they don't believe in. They don't believe in your God. They'll sell your God for the highest price. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. Are you saying God has to lie? No,
hey,
I'm not going to do that.
They will sell your God for the highest price. I am saying this. If you think that they care about what you hold sacred, what you hold divine, I'm telling you, they have a system in America that will put it up for sale. They have people that will auction your belief off like a $2 whore. They will go through great lengths to influence sane men and women to go against your best interest, the interests of humanity. That's what I'm saying. And these are the people you think that you're going to go in there and negotiate a deal with. These are the people you think you're going to go in and say such a word that's going to stir them to some type of consciousness. This is the problem with you fanatics. What do you think they're going to have in a Paul on the road to Damascus experience moment?
Mm-hmm.
This is what you will believe is going to happen to the devil, and it'll never happen. What he will understand and what the devil will feel when I say tangible material change and effects on political, social, economic power. That's it. That's the only thing that devil will feel. And we have to begin to, when we begin to recognize ourselves as a nation, first and foremost, if nothing but an oppressed people's nation, OPN. If you're nothing but an oppressed people's nation, we are a nation through shared common experiences. So once we recognize our commonality, our nationhood, we will begin to look at what we have at our disposal to weaponize and use as a tool. People who have heard me talk have heard me say this before, so I'm not saying anything new. One of the things is we understand in this capitalist society that we don't have a relation to the mode of production, but we have a limited power called consumer power. Albeit it's limited, but no one can what? Make us spend a dime. We don't have to spend with anyone we don't want to. And when you move as a nation, you practice collective spending. When you move as a nation, you are informed to the companies that are for or against you as a people, as a collective, as a whole. One of the problems is not only consumer capitalism, but it's individual consumer capitalism. We don't even buy as a whole. So when we don't buy as a whole, anything productive that is, then nobody caters to us productively. They realize what you buy as a whole, as far as that bullshit. White Owl came out with a new flavor cigar. It's called Now Later. You know you Negroes like Now Laters. You get that Now Later White Owl on it. I just fucking with you. Now I'm playing, y'all. Don't go in the store asking the damn clerk for Now Later White Owls. Now Later Sweet Swishers. There is no Now Later Sweet Swisher. I'm playing. I'm what they call.
I thought they had goddamn what that new young was talking
what they
about.
call that shit cooning.
Yeah.
I'm making a caricature. I'm doing the Flavor Flav. I'm making an example. And just trying to, a little tomfoolery every now and then. It's in good taste. I try to be in good humor at least, even if it's tasteless. But I said that to say productively, since we don't move as a collective, you understand, nobody caters to us on the productive level. We haven't moved to the one thing that we do besides just consume and gobble. So you have all the frivolities, all the silly shit pumped into our communities. Family Dollar, Dollar General. What the fuck is the difference? Right across is the same junk shit. It's the same trash. It's the same dumping of surplus for capitalism. It's the same keeping the economy going. It's the same lowering the product, the material of the product, so you will constantly spend because it isn't worth a damn. It doesn't last. It's dumping of surplus in communities that only know consumerism, to consume, to gobble, to eat, to devour. Once we start practicing accountable spending, and accountable spending is just not who we spend with, but it is making them be accountable to us. We will sit and cry about Donald Trump. We will cry about these racists and these people who take the presidency. And I love the brothers and sisters who say, that's why I don't vote. That's why I don't get involved with that shit. Yet you go spend, patronize a company that supports Donald Trump. Oh, you get involved with politics.
All right.
Oh, you get involved with politics. When you're not, in order to make that type of statement, you have to be thorough with your spending. When I say I don't get involved with politics, that means all the way down to buying from people who endorse crazy ass politicians or endorse atrocities in Africa. The raping of the Congo for these fucking new Apple phones you're getting so they can get the damn pieces to make the chips and dips and all the shit we're not accountable or not accountable spending, but not aware of, that goes into our blind, gluttonous, consuming asses. And that I'm talking about, directly us revolutionaries who call ourselves aware. Who call ourselves aware, let alone the unaware and the unconscious. Accountable spending. It's little things like this that we can do that begin to change the paradigm. We're some of the only people that don't move like that, you guys. And that, please believe me, that is by design. It is intentional to keep you identalist. It's by design. It is their intentions to keep you from embracing a national understanding of yourself, to move as one people, because you are that underclass. You are that underclass. You're the people they criminalize you. They slap you with a scarlet letter. You go to jail, you come out, you got a felony, you can only get a certain job. You can't afford higher education because of the economic disparities between white and black, because simply meaning you're born into poverty, and 9 times out of 10 you inherit fucking poverty. That your parents only worked for you to survive. You thought you were wealthy because you lived in a nice house. You thought you was wealthy because your parents had 2 cars. You thought you was wealthy because you went to a certain school or you lived in a certain neighborhood, until you get out on your own and find out there's no generational wealth. Your parents were living hand to mouth. They were living paycheck to paycheck. They were keeping up with the Joneses. They didn't leave anything from you. We didn't learn to live 2 steps below our means. We had to keep up with the Joneses. We know consumer capitalism. You ain't made it if you ain't got that new whip. You only got a 1-car garage, you ain't made it. The dream of capitalism only works on suckers. Capitalism only has 2 classes: the buyer, the seller, the pimp, the hoe, the swindler, the swindled, the exploiter, the exploited, the oppressor, and the oppressed. And guess which one you fall into? I hope I don't have to give you 3 guesses. I hope I don't have to give you 3 if you don't know by now. So this is the reality of what we're facing. And like I said, something as simple as accountable spending. Reducing what is good for the environment, the carbon footprint, but minimalizing, becoming a minimalist. What the hell is Yanga talking about? Becoming a minimalist.
What Yanga?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
That film is on right now, because I told you it's Eastern time, and it just started right now. The little webinar that I was wondering if you wanted to check that out, because it's live. It's going on right now. I can share it. I can do it.
How long is it? And is it the only time it's going to show?
Yes. Yes.
All right, I just want to do this.
I'll just show a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Let's move on.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember? Because I got to get back in and sort of share it. Do you remember what I told you about? It was about.
Yeah, but still open it up. I remember.
All right. Okay.
And it's sponsored, and it's for awareness of Matula, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, open it up a little bit. Bring us into it, please.
Okay, just 1 second. One second.
Government.
Okay. Where'd it go?
Fingers right here.
Where did it go?
Come on, find birds.
Man, I just read it, right?
Yeah, just had it pulled up.
I did, huh? Can you hear me? Yeah. Oh, that's it. Hold on. You can hear me, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I just
I can hear
you. All right. It's about Matula Shakur, and being like a God. I gotta read it, because that way I get it right, word it just right. Because it's, oh my God, it makes me move my links. You know what I mean? 1 second. I don't want this. I want this.
Let's see.
Is this one? Yes. Okay. All right. 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm having blind moment right here. This one. It is this one. No. Okay. Basically, this is the summary. It's a movie. Right now, it's called "Dope is Death." Okay, and this is the background. Dr. Matula Shakur is a new African freedom fighter and doctor of acupuncture. He has been a part of the New African Independence movement since he was 16 years old. Targeted by the FBI's notorious COINTEL program, Dr. Matula Shakur was arrested in 1986, although there is no physical evidence tying him to his charges. Dr. Matula Shakur has served his sentence and should have been paroled in 2016. From 1978 to 1982, Dr. Shakur was the co-founder and co-director of the Black Acupuncture Advisory Association of North America and the Harlem Institute of Acupuncture. In the Lincoln Detox Community Program in the Bronx, Dr. Shakur managed a detox program recognized as the largest and most effective of its kind by the National Institute of Drug Abuse. The National Acupuncture Research Society and the World Academic Society of Acupuncture. He continued his remarkable work and also treated thousands of poor and elderly patients who would have otherwise had no access to treatment of this type. Many community leaders, political activists, lawyers, and doctors were served by him, or by them, and over 100 medical students were trained in the discipline of acupuncture. That's pretty much what it's about. And then it's a movie, and the movie's called Death and our Dope is Death. And so I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it for you. You're kind of like in the midst of it. That's because I had to take this phone call. So I'm gonna get that. We need to get it going real quick. Let's see. Okay. I think it's this one. Nope. Nope. Come on now. Oh, man, for reals? What did I do with it? Where?
At the very bottom.
Oh, yeah, but it's gonna make me fill this all out. Yeah, okay, done. Jesus Christ, again. Once you move something, then you gotta redo it all over. Yeah, yes. Not yet. Nothing. Okay, join meeting progress. Okay, okay. You guys ready?
Yep.
Let's see. Right here, and minimize this. Okay, and go right. This comes down. This goes right here inside of this. Okay. You just can't make anything easy for me today. Nudge. Yeah, 1 second.
Oh shit.
Like that. Put this right here. Like this. Take this. And it'll go right there. Okay. This right here. And Chrome tab. Bam, bam, bam. Meeting Zoom. Exactly. And okay, 1 second. Alright.
Matula ain't trying to come up today, is it?
Now he's coming up. I just had to get over there. It's like come on now. Okay. We're gonna be acting all crazy. Alright, join meeting progress. Bam. Launch meeting. Bam. Okay, I hope you could see it. Okay, maybe. Can you see it?
Yeah, we see a little bit.
Okay, let's see if I can try to minimize it. Huh? Got it. Can you hear it? You're connected to computer audio. Okay, great.
Exhale. Let it out.
Let's see what the minimize is.
Let it out. Exhale.
There's a full
You know, I'm
screen.
a drug addict. I've been a drug addict. Now I'm 31 years old. I've been
Can
a
you see
drug
the movie?
addict 15 years. You know, I used to shoot heroin.
Okay, figures you couldn't. 1 second. Where is it? Nope.
Relax.
Yeah. 1 second. It's running, but
Before I came here, I was depressed. I had anxiety, and then because the acupuncture and
1 second.
you know, has helped me to. I'm like happy now. You know, I feel relaxed. I feel calm. Take a breath in. Take a breath in. Exhale. Thank you.
Oh my God! Why can't I do it?
A drug user for many, many years. I was in and out of jail. I was on
1
the
second.
streets with the whole shabazz thing that comes with it, with the violence.
That just ain't rocking. We've been to rock out.
Actually, one day walked through.
It don't like it want to rock out.
Third Avenue, and I was walking, and I
Yeah, it's I'm trying to get it done.
Building that I seen people
1
going in
second.
there, and I asked what that was. And they told me, well, this is a liquor recovery center.
It's like not
program. I was like, you know what? I desperately need a program right now in my life. And I walked in there, and
I'm gonna go on the show. I'm about to go on the show some.
That was my first real.
Can you get it?
No, apparently I'm not. I'm having a hard time. I can't pause it. I can't do nothing with it.
It's crazy. It happens like that. What I'm gonna do.
15 years, and it was acupuncture.
Jesus, okay, stop. Leave. Man. It's because when you open something in Zoom, it pops up in like 15 different, like 3 windows. It pops up in like 3 windows.
Well, I'm gonna take this opportunity to go into a little bit. I at least want to show part 1 and at least give Dr. Na'im Akbar in there. Then you can work with that. I hate that this is the only time it's going to be shown. Anytime we have an opportunity to expose the people to Matula, our freedom fighters, and some of the work Matula Shakur did, a lot of people snoozed on that Matula Shakur was into holistic health and was into agriculture. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just shows the depths of our freedom fighters and not just how deep they were themselves, but to what extent they would study healing and medicine, seeking solutions, not only to the political, economic problems we face, but psychological and health problems. This is why I run with this guy's son. You know, I do understand that health plays a very large part in what holds us back from really being as great as we could be. And after his one debate he had with someone, Don, can you go off, put on mute? That echo is killing me.
I apologize. Carry on.
So, after, I'm still getting echo, dog.
Oh, no. Jesus. Okay.
Okay. So after, that one debate that the brother had, I realized how important when we're talking about health, exactly how important health was. And so here's an opportunity talking about that to introduce Dr. Na'im Akbar. He is pre-Dr. Umar Johnson, a premier Black psychologist. I said a little earlier, I was introduced to him through a book he had, Knowledge of Self. No, Know Thyself, by Dr. Na'im Akbar. It was given to me by my father when I was 15, and it was so profound that I was talking a little earlier in the opening or the beginning of the program. I quoted, I believe it was even from chapter 1, some of the passage. Just an awesome figure. I want to share him with you guys. Here's my opportunity. Let's get into some of this Dr. Na'im Akbar, and you can see what he's rocking like.
Be here. And took us what, best part of 3 years maybe to get you here?
We've been working on it for a while. Intensely for a year.
Intensely for a year.
Intensely for a year.
Damn, y'all fucking up. My shit is.
Yeah.
Dr. Na'im,
Mm-hmm.
Father Elder, leader. Some people, we know that's not the case.
Yes, we don't play that.
And it's one of those symptoms of our experience that we need to address. Your own experience into the field of psychology. What actually set you on this path?
Well, I guess that my interest was much more. I began by wanting to be a healer. And my concept of the way that I thought I would be a healer was the aspiration to be a pediatrician. So when I went into the university, I started on a medical path, and I thought that that was going to, in fact, for as long as I could remember, I wanted to be a pediatrician. And shortly after my first encounter with chemistry, I said, this is not my path. And so I began then to look at healing in a broader sense, and kind of drifted into psychology as a way to talk about and to begin to prepare skills for healing.
So you weren't deterred by the psychology that was being taught at the time, which was based on racist principles. You weren't deterred by that?
Well, I thought I would get to what I needed. I was looking for answers, and I went there thinking that the answers were there. And so it took me many, many years of exploring all that they could teach me about their psychology to find out that they provided answers about them, but not about answers about us. And I think that what I did find, however, was that there are ways to explore the processes of understanding how people function. And the way that Europeans had explored their functioning gave me an indication of how we needed to begin to understand the exploration of our functioning. So that was what I learned from Western psychology, that there are ways of exploration that are universal. You begin to look into yourself to see how you function in your context, and then you begin to put that together, to analyze that. So by using their procedures for looking at themselves, I got an introduction to how to apply those skills to exploring and analyzing who we were.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So your initiation into the work that you now do, it began with an understanding of the work that the establishment had done around psychology.
Well, yes. And it's the interesting thing is that I studied psychology at a time that there were other things happening outside. Okay. So I was going to school during the 60s. So in the background, there was Malcolm, there was the Nation of Islam, there were the Black Panthers, there were the poets, there were all these other things in terms of the social and cultural revolution that was taking place in the US. So even though I was in fact sitting in an educational environment, like it was very clear that there was something else going on outside. And it wasn't taking place in the learning institution, but it was the context. And the context, the revolution in terms of the artistic world, the musical world, was saying that we need to know who we are. We need to redefine what we are all about. So that noise coming in from the background made me then create this imperative to take the psychology to apply to us understanding ourselves in much the same way.
Okay. So, and there were others thinking similarly to you at the time?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it was in nearly every field of study, people were thinking how to think differently about ourselves. There were people in politics thinking about how to use the political system to move in another direction. There were people, as I said, in the arts who were doing that. So there were many other people. So the other psychologists and social workers and other people in the social sciences at that time were somehow saying that there are limitations to this. These skills that we are learning help us to deal with the problems that white people have with living effectively themselves. So what we need to do as social workers, as psychologists—
Introduce the term white people.
I'm sorry?
Discussion.
Oh, okay.
It's the first time it's come up.
Okay, yeah, well,
I was waiting to see how long it would come into the conversation.
Well, that was the context I was learning in. That was the context I was learning in. And so the question was, how then do we begin to translate and apply these skills to our reality? You know, and it was very clear that there was a different reality. The world was changing socially.
So I just had a family emergency come up. I thank everybody for tuning in, man. We'll try it again next time. Peace.
Somehow apply the skills that we were learning, whatever kind of healing skills or teaching skills, or instructional skills, or economic